Hi, I'm Mike, and this is Mike Miller Talks Life. Today's quote, enjoy life. This is not a rehearsal. It could be later than you think. Have you ever felt that way? I mean, sometimes I've been getting ready for something and I look at the time and I realize, oh my gosh, I got to get going. I'm late. It's way later than I thought it was, and I could be late for my appointment. All of us started this year with plans, just like any other year. And then COVID hit and shutdown began. And the plans we had, we couldn't do them. It was too late to do. The time was up. And now we have to be home and all this kind of stuff. And where I came from, winter was something you had to get ready for. So at that fall season, you start getting your firewood because we heated our house with wood. You had to check the roof, sweep it off, get it ready, and inspect it to make sure it was ready for another heavy rainy season, because it rained a lot where I lived. And you had to get the gutters cleaned out and all the other areas where water would flow to make sure it was all free of debris and freely flowing. All this kind of stuff, because when winter hit, it was too late. It was going to rain for several months. I think all this stuff goes on in our life, and the COVID and other things, and they're just reminding us that there are deadlines. There are times that come when your time is up. You don't get to do any more. This quote is a reminder that we need to enjoy life. Maybe within that reminder is the reality, or maybe just the fact that it's okay to enjoy life. You should be doing more and having more fun. But also, it's reminding us that this is our life. And there is no practice run and then a little debrief and tweak a few things and then get out there and do it for real. No, the moment you come into this world, it's real. And it's real the whole time you're here. And it's sort of like, ready or not, here you are. And now you're doing this. Many go through seasons in life, and there are times that are just not enjoyable at all. It's not fun, it's hard. Could be a few days, could be weeks, could even be years, where it's a struggle. And fun isn't even an issue. It's too hard. And when you're around somebody who really enjoys life, and you sometimes feel like, boy, I'm just really blowing it. They're having all this fun, and I'm just like doing this every day. We get into this when and then kind of a thing, and when I get this done, or when we get that taken care of, then we're going to relax and have fun. And there's always a risk with that, because you don't know if you're going to get it done and all this kind of stuff. I've talked to people who have a lot of fun, and it's like they just started doing things and choosing to enjoy it. And that you look at what they're doing as simple, and they're just, I don't know, they're not playing the when and then, and they're not in a rut. They're just choosing life. Life is meant to be a lot of things. And one of those things is that life is meant to be enjoyed. A few things I think might help. I'm not sure, but I'm going to throw them out here. I think it might help, number one, to become aware of your mortality. This is not fun, but it helps to realize not only does life have a beginning, which is a lot of fun, it has an ending. And sometimes when we think about the end of life, we get caught up in what's going to happen next. Like some people think we're going to be reincarnated and get another shot, but we'll be something else. And that's kind of an interesting approach to ending life. Some believe when we end this life, we're going to go to heaven. And I'm kind of in that camp. Others think that we're just buried and it's done. There is nothing after life. The point today is that whatever you think happens after life, the point is your current life will stop. It will end. Ready or not, time is up. I've done a lot of funerals in my life as a pastor of a church, small church, in a small community, and I got tapped to do a lot of services, a lot of funerals, a lot of memorial services for people, and nobody was really ready. I mean, some kind of were, but they had things left to do. They had unfinished things, and it was interesting to help the family sort through all of that. I've thought about death a lot more for me. I'm older, and now there's a rash of things on the news where members of music groups that I've always enjoyed listening to have died. And it's like, man, they weren't that much older than me. So I feel the pressure, like I got to dig in here and get going. And we're all, concerned about COVID. We don't want that because it might, we might die. And it's just a little crazy time, but we need a little reality check just to realize that this life is pretty temporary. There is a deadline. And so we need to get busy enjoying. Number 2, you need to take an honest inventory. Now, this simple question will help. What or who are you holding on to that is holding you back? That's a good question to grapple with, because we really need to get the reins back, get control back of our life so we can begin to make choices of things that we want to do with our life to have more fun. But whoever you're holding on to, or whatever you're holding on to, it can hold you back. And sometimes it can be people. They get too much control because we keep holding on to them, either what they did to us, how they treated us, or maybe we've been trying to please them, trying to get their approval, and we just simply can't. And we give them space in our head because we keep thinking about them all the time, and we're hanging on to it, and that's controlling us, and we're not having any fun in life. Sometimes our kids can do a number on us because they keep it hanging it over our head that we didn't do enough. And that can be frustrating because you feel like, geez, I'm nonstop doing stuff. And there comes a point in the parenting world where you have to decide to believe you did the best you could with what you had. And they have gotten enough from you to leave home and make a life for themselves that will be a pretty good life. And the kind of stuff they're saying is really their problem, not ours. I think that's probably a good lesson for all parents. Sometimes we get addicted to things along the way, and we're hanging on. It's hanging on to us now. Or the past, we keep hanging on to the past because of regrets or things that happen or failures. Maybe something horrible happened to you in the past and you've just been hanging on to it. Or sometimes fear. I mean, we're all kind of afraid of the COVID thing to some degree. And it's like, it's holding us back. We're hanging on to it. Oh no, I don't want to get it and all that. What are you holding on to that is holding you back? Who are you holding on to that's holding you back? I think we need to take some time to work through that and let go so you can get the reins of your life back and you can start running your life. Number 3 is what we need to do, what brings fulfillment. Fulfillment produces happiness. And if we just seek happiness, we're never going to find it. It's always going to feel like fleeting. But when you find fulfillment produces happiness. I read about a writer, and I can't remember who actually said this because several people get credit for it. To be fulfilled, we need 3 things. I like this number 1 because it was 3 things instead of 100 things. Some of those lists just get overwhelming to me. You need 3 things. You need someone to love. We're made for relationships. And when we have someone to love, to care about, it gets our eyes off of ourselves and onto them. When we focus only on ourselves, we will be miserable. We need someone to love, but we also need something to do. Often, especially during this COVID, I bet it's hit you. You just feel kind of bored. That empty feeling and feeling just like frustrated because you're bored and all this kind of stuff goes on. We need something to do, not just a job, not just busy work. We need to be involved in something that we have a passion for, something that is really making a difference. Sometimes people get a career that does this, but you don't have to have a full-blown career to do it. You can just be a normal everyday person that has a normal everyday job that's not that great, but it's a job and it meets your needs. And then in your free time, you volunteer doing something that's maybe helping people, making a difference somewhere, and you start getting excited about it. And it's an emphasis on people over things. We need something to do that's having an impact, and we begin to care about it. It helps us connect with our sense of purpose and all that. Very important. A young girl was looking for a place just to serve people, and she chose going to a local laundromat, and she had a target, 2 types of people that she was going to try to help. Senior adults doing their laundry. She would go and help them, offer to help them and just visit with them while they were folding laundry, doing whatever. And single moms. Man, there's nothing harder than trying to get to a laundromat, get the laundry done, and keep the kids corralled. I mean, they're running all over, having a great time. And so she would just help with the kids or help with the laundry while the mom dealt with the kids. It was very fulfilling to her because she was really helping. She was impacting people. And it was just a powerful thing. And sometimes in our volunteering to help meet a need, it's giving us something to do that brings fulfillment. We need someone to love. We need something to do, but we also need something to look forward to. And many times we go through life and we're just like, the next day, no highlights. I think sometimes what this guy is trying to say is that we need to start making some plans of things to look forward to. When COVID's done, we're going to do something like that. Or even in the midst of COVID, plan some things you can do that change of pace, change of scenery, will bring a positive impact. It gives you something to look forward to. Maybe I can have contact with some people that mean a lot to me, either call them on a regular basis, or maybe I can take a short road trip and just have some fun, no pressure, not much money spent at all. Those 3 things can bring fulfillment. I'm a Christian, a follower of Jesus Christ, and I find that my relationship, my faith in Christ really helps with these 3 things, because these things tie into what my faith is about. And so your faith may play a role in this. And if you have no faith, gosh, I feel like faith is such a vital part of life that I would really recommend pursuing becoming a follower of Christ. I think it's well worth it. It's a big, big positive influence. Number 4 is make the most of opportunities. Sometimes we miss opportunities just because we're so negative. We just don't see when an opportunity is there. You say no to something because it looks like inconvenience. But when you have a chance to do something, when someone invites you to come along with them, I think you should try saying yes and see what unfolds. It may be just a real fun thing, or it may open the door to something else, another opportunity. But we need to make the most of these opportunities that come along. they are keys to enjoying life, doing something, and that's fun. I think lastly, you need to be present. It's so important just to be present. I mean, it's hard to have fun somewhere if you're not there. I mean, you can be there, but your head can be somewhere else. And so if you're at home, be there. Don't just get home, plop yourself down, and not get involved. You're missing so much. And when you talk about things that you were involved in, talk about it in a positive way. Leave the negative and talk about, yeah, it was pretty good. We did this, we laughed, we did whatever. Choose to say positive things about it. You may not feel real joyful about it, but you speak in a positive, that was really fun. And you're acting your way into a feeling. Feelings will follow. Enjoy life. This is not a rehearsal. I hope this has sparked a few things in you to think about your life and what can you do to enjoy it, not just let it go by. And maybe you can share this with somebody that's kind of stuck, or tell them about it. If you liked it, I hope you'll click like or the thumbs up thing or subscribe. I try to put these little talks out weekly. I mean, they're not life-changing, but there's something to think about. And so until next time, I hope you have a good week and a healthy week, but also I hope you enjoy the week. Thanks so much for listening.